I'm an 8th grade teacher here at Forest City Middle School, and Caprice and Ashley have asked me to talk a little bit about behavior modification and how I use that in my classroom. And I would have to say that it begins at the beginning of the school year, actually, where we ask students what they need in the classroom to happen to help them feel safe, help them be able to take risks, help them to achieve the goals that they set for 8th grade, and help them to be able to focus and really learn what we have before them. So they actually come up with guidelines. We don't call them rules, we just call them guidelines as to how can you feel safe, how can you take risks to achieve everything that you want to achieve in 8th grade. So then we combine those, and then we actually put those a list on the wall. And as the students as the year progresses, students tend to either blurt out or not respect each other or whatever it is, whatever the guidelines that they've come up with. So as the class goes on, sometimes it's simple thing of behavior modification is for me to go over and stand by a student and just let them know, hey, I'm listening in on your conversation, or in our classroom discussion, you're not focused and you're saying silly things. Or possibly it is when they're taking some sort of assessment and they're just looking off and they're trying to be distracting behavior. Sometimes just my presence changes that behavior instantly. If it's something that continues, just with my presence, I might whisper in the ear, look in the wall, which one of those guidelines are you not following right now? And to see if they have self-recognition. Sometimes in middle school, it's, they don't necessarily own up to their behavior until they're called out on it. If some of those simple little things, and there's many others that you can do in the classroom just as the day proceeds, if those don't work, sometimes I think it might be necessary to just call the student and say, okay, I'm going to start making tallies every time this certain behavior is happening in the classroom on such and such a day. And then after school, call them out, okay, so this is what I saw, this is what I saw. Would you agree with this? Or how are you feeling about what I charted that day? And sometimes, again, it's the self-recognition that, oh my gosh, I'm really doing that, or that is how it's disruptive. So sometimes that helps as well. We try not to get the parents involved until we have taken at least 3 or 4 steps of behavior modification within the class. As simple as just standing next to them, or whatever the simple behavior is that day, or modification is that day. And then sometimes we do have to get the parents involved and say, here, this is the many steps that we've taken. This is the behavior we're still seeing. What do you see at home? Is there something going on that we don't know about or that we don't understand about your child? And then we come up with maybe what would be called a formal plan that everybody is on board. This is the behavior seeing. This is what we have tried to do. This is what now we agree to do with a severe consequence. And usually the principal is involved in that. But like I said, to me, behavior modification is just how you handle the classroom every day and making sure that expectations are met. And if they're not, just the simple things that usually help so the behavior doesn't escalate to where you have to get the parents involved.